What's going on, YMOE podcast? It's Ray W with you.
Keith Burnett.
Jericho Sunbright.
We got Isaiah here, Isaiah Lynch. So, add on to what we were talking about last week, what manhood really is. Jericho, you got any ideas on what manhood really is?
I think manhood first starts with discipline, you know what I mean?
Discipline, I like that.
My friend Ray here was just talking about before the podcast how it comes with making sure you have your things in order and in place so that you can do the things you want to do, you know what I mean? So you can be able to help people, so you can be able to have fun. You got anything to say, Keith?
I think basically it's kind of about taking care of your priorities first and your responsibilities first and kind of not really prioritize. I don't want to say prioritizing yourself last, but taking care of the more important things and more important aspects of your life first and prioritizing them above your own kind of wants. You know what I mean? What about you, Ray?
I would say manhood is really having morals as well that you live by every day. So like just being respectful, being disciplined, like you said, priorities, everything y'all touched on. We just need to have morals so that way we're not getting pushed over or treated a certain kind of way from other people.
Yeah. I think it also comes with understanding as your man, your job is hard work. A lot of times, like, especially with our generation, people do not want to work hard, you know what I mean? They want the easy way out. Social media, this, all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Just want like a false narrative, like being like this rich, like cool dude. But no, like you're gonna have to work hard no matter how much money you got, no matter what it is you're doing, you know what I mean? It's gonna come with hard work.
So let's talk about that. How y'all feel about people that's lazy? I'm gonna go to you, Isaiah.
Honestly, man, my bad. Honestly, it could be 50-50. At times, I do like to relax. I do like to calm down, but there's other times where I understand that working hard is needed. I need to work hard to be where I want to be and achieve what I want to achieve. Like, if I want to go out and be a businessman, I'm going to have to study for business, because if I'm in a position where I have the opportunity, I might lose it because I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not, at that moment in time where I need to be because how lazy I am. Yeah. But discipline is needed to become a man, be specific. Discipline is needed to be installed into a man before he's, at where he wants to be. If God gave you what you wanted right now, you wouldn't deserve it. He builds you up. So you need to be built up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about you, Keith?
I agree with that. But, one of my friends, we were joking around, obviously, but he said something. He was like, he wishes that he could just be a bum and make a passive income. But that's not realistic, We got to work hard for the things that we want. Yeah. My mother told me, she said, when I get older and I have my job, my career, make sure I pick a career that's going to be able to maintain the lifestyle that I'm currently living, you know what I mean? PlayStation 5, car, I have a job, I have money on the side, nice clothes, nice shoes. You don't want to just be lazy and, like, honestly, think about it like this, okay? Let's just say you're 40, 50 years old and you have a job in maybe like a fast food place, no shade or anything. But, like, let's say COVID was to come and wrap back around. Bam, you shut down, you out of work, you know what I mean? But people are always going to need doctors. People are always going to be sick. You always going to need doctors. You always going to need electricians. You always going to need exactly. You're always going to need all of that stuff.
Talking about teachers too, bro. Teachers are always going to be around, bro. Like, that's a career that can't be replaced.
Exactly. So
be replaced, man.
Yeah, you gotta work hard for the things that you want. You know what I mean? So it's kind of unrealistic to get the passive income. I'm sure everybody wishes that they could do that, but that's just unrealistic in today, especially that everything is just like so much more expensive. You know what I mean? So you gotta prioritize the things you gotta prioritize. Work hard. Have goals set for yourself, because if you're just working and you don't even have a reason as to why you're working, it's just like you feel less motivated. But if you have a set goal, it kind of helps you achieve that goal, if that makes sense.
I ain't even gonna lie, I want to touch on to what you just said. I like what you said, bro. As a man, you do have to work hard. But as y'all can see here, we're all black. So we're going to have to work even harder than that to make up where we, unfortunately lack. So to work hard, even as a black man in America, everybody's looking at you every step of the way. So to have the eyes and also to work as hard as, the next person above you is even harder to even think about.
Yeah.
So to add on to what Keith was adding on to, I feel like as a black man in America, we have the eyes, we have the power. Most importantly, if we bound together. I remember he had wrote something in his essay we were talking about earlier today that a group of horses work better together when they're running together.
Yeah, they run faster when they're all running together rather than one horse running alone. That's horsepower.
Right. And as men, we need to do that to encourage each other to do better, to bring each other up, to ride with each other, to run with each other. Because then when we're running with each other, we're building and strengthening each other, man.
Yeah, and something I will also touch on is most problems in society that we might complain about really stems from the man, because within society the only people who can utilize force is the man, you know what I mean? So when it comes to the way like we complain about stuff or things happen, it really just comes down to the man, the home, and how he's leading, you know what I mean? So I think it's better for us to really not blame other people but hold ourselves accountable to a higher standard, so the things that do go on, we can actually do something about it, you know?
Yeah,
I want to touch on one last thing. I want to say it also comes to your character. Your character is definitely everything. I would say your character comes in at your job, at your house, at school, going out to eat, anywhere, because your first impression is always everything. You don't want to go to a job interview in your PJs and like, oh, what's up, bro? Slouching back, listening on your phone while they talking to you. You know, character is everything. So you want to walk in the room and you want to give an effect. You want to give off what we call now that aura. You want to give
and have some integrity.
Yes, sir. But yeah, that's the last thing I had to touch on. We'll see y'all later. YMOE!
Yes, sir.